Let me ask you this, Q. Do you feel liberated in any way now that you see the world is starting to see
No, I've been
Joe
feeling I
more for
was
who he
free all
is?
this time. God made me free all this time. As I was so, it came out so natural for me to say the truth against where everybody wouldn't think is the truth. They might have judged me in front of the whole world. I said the truth when I was by myself, and I stood by my truth, even when those around me gave up on me, when they betrayed me, when they chose to run away. I stood with the same thing.
I know, but you got
Same
to
thing.
feel like some type of way.
But I was always free. I was always free. Nigga, I left Cuba. Once I left Cuba, I was free. I was in a place where freedom did not come because you're naturally from a government. So we fled Cuba for freedom. Once I hit touchdown in Miami, I mean, in Key West, when I was a shorty, I felt free, and I knew that at the end of the day, why we left Cuba. We had a dictator like Fidel Castro that was communist that you couldn't speak upon. You get hurt. Your family would be, whatever. You can't have your own mind. So I know what freedom means. From a little kid, I was explained that. My father, my mother, they taught me that, and they brought me here for that reason. So I never ever let another person, another dictator, whoever thought that they was another human being take that right away from me. Never. I felt like the hip hop industry was under lockdown. They was locked up, and I was the only one free trying to freedom. That's how I
But
felt.
what I'm saying though is that like I feel like the industry has been known that Joe wasn't a good person, but they wouldn't say anything, right? But now the regular person is starting to see who he really is. So for you to be screaming what you have been screaming for 20 years, right? Over 20 years, doesn't it feel somewhat good that people are really starting to see, Joe for who he really is? They're like, maybe Cuban Link wasn't crazy after all.
I mean, there's a part of me that feels that way, but it's also a part of me that feels like, even when I say certain things and I expose the truth, so change can happen. When people expose that, I ain't get no gain from that. Nobody paid me this. I didn't have a plan that, if I take him down, I could be the next one. I never had that plan with me. You know what I'm saying? I did this for God, first of all. I know it was a godly mission for me, for my brother that I seen being done bad after he shared his love and his talent with somebody he thought he could trust like that. For his kids, they had to go through a situation that somebody could have avoided. Start back and even worse than when his father started off, see him get robbed like that, see me put my trust in my career and my devotion to something that helps somebody and also get betrayed from the back, never from the front. For all the punk qualities that I've seen in that guy that he showed me, he probably showed the other people when he told another story that he saw, or how tough he is, or how scared you should be of him because this could happen to you, whatever. I always saw that pussy punk motherfucker that's ungrateful, that's a thief, a drug dealer that'll sell poison to his people and masquerade himself in the public's eye to be loved and liked. And can never find the answer to the equation of what's a good man, what's good and what's right. He just know how to do that thing because that's the thing that he loves doing. And he's evil things to people. That's it. That's my whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a part of me that wishes that he listened. Because there was always room for forgiveness if you come to the realization of your wrongdoings. But some people, like I said, like Pharaoh, at the end of the day, listen, you don't get the locust, man. The water's going to turn blood. He's seen all the signs, like Pharaoh. That was the last one of the firstborn son. Look, all his brothers died. First terror squad members, they all dead. What are you going to do, Pharaoh? Or you still going to be with your pride and ego and you think you was right all along and you're going to go right into that middle of that water where the ocean split up, huh? You should have just let the people go. It's that deep for me, spiritually. So that story's been told already, and I already knew I was, upholding God's plan to do
So
this.
you knew this day was going to come when people were going to really see him for who he is?
Of course, a liar always get exposed, especially a lie of that magnitude, a crime of that magnitude that's been, let hidden all these years. And the stories only get more. It's going to gain more worth. Our story. I know that, but I ain't do that for that. Because actually the hate is what made the love cost more and be more famous than ever. Even though it went through all of this struggle and this journey to be heard. But it's going to be heard. It's just when. That's all. It's deep. It's deep. You know what I'm saying? I only feel this, and I'm saying it like this because it flows easily when I'm thinking about it and how I really feel about it. But me doing this for any monetary gain, I hate the guy so much. I hate what he did. I hate that people like that exist in the world that could live and look in the mirror after they do certain things like that and get rewarded. That's what I hated. I don't hate him. Crazy. Me and him share so much things together. He's half Cuban, born around the same area. You know what I'm saying? Had it rough. You know what I'm saying? I feel his, for his kid that was born mentally challenged. I was there for his his 7th birthday. Me and Paul went to his birthday party at McDonald's by the Brooklyn. I know his family. I know his mother. You know what I'm saying? His mother has a problem. She had caught throat cancer. So she speaks with a voice box. And since back in the days, they went through the hard stuff. I know his stepfather, or his father to me was his father, Cuban. His last name was Delgado, like me. He put me on point about him back in the days, like coming up in the game because he's Cuban. So we shared a bond in it back then. His people in the street crew, which I love, that they had love for me, and we did crazy shit that they already know that I'm validated from the ghetto all the way up. And I was a loyal dude. And we did a lot of things, and the real side of things in that drug game where he was involved. And we came through the roots on that. So the respect that I got, and for me getting on there and say, fuck Terror Squad, you know how much that shit hurt me with when I got to think of like GQ, like things like Little Head, like people that are, we was rolling together and we was real niggas with each other. You know what I'm saying? And just love. And it was created that way. The foundation and the story of Terror Squad, I love when it was real. But this dude made a whole different story. He changed the history of that too. And he doesn't even look out. But guys like GQ, like, you know what I'm saying? Real, like power, like Gizmo, rest in peace. Guys that validated them in the hood. And I don't see him doing the right thing by them. And me knowing that. And not even being like original from that crew. I seen how he did them and I speak for them. And until this day I see them, I always show love. They show me love, but they too like this. They stuck in the middle, and he put them in that situation. And yeah, he doesn't do no real G shit and change their lives like we try to do. I was a speaker of that. But anyway, man, I ain't gonna go through like that's in the book. It's gonna be in the book anyway when I write it. But that's the real story there. And I'm proud. I'm proud of us being Latinos from the same block, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican. You know what I'm saying? Caribbeans. That was in a black culture that they accepted us being from that block that the DITC, crew came out of. Being linked to that, it's an honor, a pleasure. It was something that we had to uphold lyrically and with our talent. And it was backing us. We was backing them. That union was so dope. But, the greed and jealousy of others, not even others, of just that fat, funky, beluga, pale whale, just him. And I say that with angry because he tricked me. He caught me when I was loving his ass once, as a brother at one point. No, I loved him as a brother at one point. I can't front. And that's why, I'm saying, it's personal like that with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I ain't that stupid motherfucker that, is going to be there after he showed me who he is, thinking he's going to change. Oh, I'm a staying weight. And he changes because, No. He showed you who he was, and he showed everybody. He shouldn't have gotten about my business like that. He shouldn't stop my business. I will use you forever until you pay that back. I never sued you. Never. Never took you to court and anything for anything that ever. I took it like a G with my chest up, and I could use your name whenever I want to, baby. Remember that. That's the only thing I ever did. So I'm using my story, but you're involved in that character. You're a character in my story. So how can you choose to use that when I want to? Remember that. That's a given.